What's up YouTube? It's Jason here with RedBeeLabs and welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel and enjoy unboxings, tech reviews, and everything in between, do me a favor and drop a like on this video. Also, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content I release. Okay guys, today I'm going to give you my full review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G. And that starts now. Here is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G, Samsung's newest foray into the foldable space. Now, this is hard for me to say, but this phone is the king right now. And as an iPhone user for many years, I just don't see myself going back. Rarely do you have a company that listens to its users, all of their suggestions, and actually implements those changes on the new device. The Z Fold 2 is not perfect, and there are a few things that could be fixed. But after a few days with the phone, even those seem to disappear, kind of like the crease. Now, I've been using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G since launch, and it's been my daily driver. I put my main SIM in there, and I am extremely impressed with the hardware, the software. I mean, it's just extremely hard for me to even put this phone down. Samsung outdid themselves this time with the design and that hinge. Whew. With that said, let's dive into the review.
Tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright.
Now, the Z Fold 2 is a big device. It's kind of heavy, but for me, it was comfortable enough to, take around and even make calls on. As for pocketability, it just slides right in my pocket and I really didn't notice it. I wear fitted jeans as well as baggy and had no problem. I will say, watch the device when you put it in your pocket. Plenty of times I've sat down and that bad boy tried to crawl out of my pocket and hit the floor or hit the seat, the floor of the car. So just be careful out there, my friends. The Z Fold 2, while open, provides a slim profile design which I love. It feels really good in the hand and is built extremely well. The Z Fold 2 has that super premium look and feel, and that's what I've come to expect from Samsung. The magnets allow the device to stay shut and provide a wonderful, satisfying thump when you close the device. There are only two color choices, which are Mystic Bronze and Mystic Black. I prefer the Mystic Bronze. The Z Fold 2 comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, 128 gigs or 256 gigs, and no expandable storage. You have a USB-C port on the bottom for charging data and video out, stereo speakers on the top and bottom, a mic on the top and bottom, a volume rocker on the right side, as well as a lightning fast side-mounted fingerprint scanner which doubles as the power button. So way to go, Samsung. I honestly just love it. I love combining the two. A 45 milliamp battery, a 25 watt wired charging, and an 11 watt wireless charging. They also throw in reverse wireless charging, which I don't find myself using as much, but still a good feature to have. You also get NFC and 5G. Okay, so the outer display has a 6.2 inch HD plus Super AMOLED Infinite O display, which is 2260 by 816 pixels. A 25.9 aspect ratio, and you get a 60 Hz refresh rate with HDR10 plus support. The outer display to me is kind of narrow, but I mean, over the course of using the Fold 2, I kind of got used to it. It just, you just get used to it. The inner display. Okay, so this has a 7.6 inch FHD plus dynamic AMOLED 2x Infinite O display, which is about 22.8 by 1768 pixels, a 22.5 18 aspect ratio, and you get 120 Hz refresh rate with a dynamic refresh rate and HDR10 plus support. I just wanted to say real quick, the crease is basically invisible and does not hinder the experience at all. And you know what? That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Both displays are equipped with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which is the toughest Gorilla Glass to date. The Z Fold 2 has no water resistance rating, so again, be careful out there, my friends. The Z Fold 2 is only 6.9 millimeters thin when open and 16.8 millimeters thin when folded. All this weighing in at 282 grams. It comes with Android 10 and One UI, and all starting at $19.99. Now, to start the camera up, you can either just click the camera button as usual, or what I love to do on most Android phones is you just double click the power button and the camera app just opens. The front cameras, the one on the outer display and on the inner display are both 10 megapixel lenses with fixed focus and an aperture of f2.2. Both cameras will support 4K at 30 frames per second and 4K at 60 frames per second, and they record at 16.9 and 12.9 aspect ratios. One cool thing to mention is you can start a selfie with the front outer display camera and then click a button in the top left and be able to use the back cameras as a selfie camera. These are some of the best selfies you will ever take. I mean, they are awesome selfies. Now for the rear cameras. You get a primary 12 megapixel lens with OIS, a ultra wide angle 12 megapixel lens, and a telephoto 12 megapixel lens. You don't get space zoom, maybe 10 times at the most, and no 8K video recording. You do get HDR, continuous autofocus, and EIS. Cameras will support 3840 by 2160, which is 4K UHD at 60 frames per second. It has a 1920 by 1080, which is full HD, and that's 240 frames per second. And you have a 1280 by 720, which is also HD, and that'll have 960 frames per second. Okay, this hinge is amazing, as I've said before. And now I gotta get all technical on you. Samsung calls the new hinge a hideaway hinge, which creates two virtual axes down what they call the spine. There are 4 cam hinges in the Z Fold 2 and more than 60 total pieces that make up the components of this freaking hinge. A new addition to the hinge is this sweeper system with fibers that keep out dust particles and pocket lint. All this packed into the new hinge allows us to have a freestanding flex mode through a range of angles as friction in the cams support the weight of the phone. And I gotta tell you, this hinge is pretty awesome. One of my favorite features is flex mode. So for example, if you're watching YouTube and you slightly flex it, slightly close it a little bit, it automatically detects that and it puts the video at the top and it'll put, like, let's say your comments and suggested videos at the bottom that you can scroll through. So it is a nice feature. My favorite way to use flex mode is with the camera. You just fold the phone and the viewfinder is shown up on the top and the gallery is displayed on the left and all your camera controls are displayed on the right. You even get a little button on the top left that lets you use the outer display as a viewfinder for the person you are taking the pic of. I just love the extra features that Samsung put into this device, and I just want to say thank you. Real quick, if you're finding value in this video, if you could drop a like on this video, it really helps me and the channel out. Okay, since Android is not optimized for tablets or dual screen phones, Samsung had to work some magic and some software in to make this an actual multitasking beast. So grab your Z Fold 2 and with one app open, swipe in from the right side to activate app's edge. From there, press and drag any app you want to display on the screen. You can use the app side by side or top and bottom. You can even add another app as a third window. Samsung has gone even further to give you that desktop feel by adding floating windows that can float over the 3 windows you currently have open. Now, not all apps work in split mode, like for instance Instagram, but with the Good Lock app from Samsung, you can force it in full screen, like I did. There is also a setting to force apps to be in a quasi-tablet mode. For example, Gmail or Outlook, when rotated to the side, will give you a dual view with your email list on one side and your selected email on the other. One last thing is there is drag and drop functionality, although this only works with Microsoft apps and Samsung apps. Okay, in my experience, battery life was about half a day. Now, let me explain. For me, it was half a day because I was on it all the time. I'm watching videos, I'm making calls, I'm doing Zoom calls and Meet calls, like I said, listening to music, reading books, playing games. I'm just like the whole nine. Now that isn't exactly the greatest, but as I said, I was doing a lot on it per day. I'm sure anybody who just sat there and used it normally would probably get a full day, or maybe even more. Wired charging times are good with the 25-watt fast charger. You get 45% with a 30-minute charge, 85% with a 60-minute charge, and a full charge takes about an hour and 25 minutes. Now, if you shell out a little extra money, you can get the Samsung 45-watt USB-C fast charger, and this will run you $49, but the charging speeds are so much better. So, wireless charging times are 14% in 30 minutes, 31% in 60 minutes, and 100% in 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you lose a little bit of the faster charging with the wireless, but I mean, to me, it's kind of worth it. I just pop it up on the charger and I don't have to worry about fumbling with cables. Now, as I always say, I'm not a gamer by any means, but I dabble a little bit. So playing games on this device was so enjoyable and so immersive. I just had such a good time. Now, the real test was when I used Xbox Game Pass and played some cloud games. As you can see here, I was playing some Forza Horizon 4 pretty badly, but you get the picture. Gaming on this device is so enjoyable and so immersive. There is plenty to like about the Z Fold 2. The innovative design, that hinge is so ridiculously good and has just the right amount of pushback and flex. The hinge, oh man, I could go on and on about this hinge and the joy it has brought me. Flex mode has been my buddy since I received this device. The way you can start an app on the cover screen and then open the device and boom, the app continues on the inner screen. There's a setting you can use to make the inner screen app continue on the cover screen as well, so like a vice versa kind of thing. The loud stereo speakers are kind of a surprise to me because in my studio, those bad boys get super loud and fill the whole room with sound. Now, the fingerprint scanner is so fast and accurate. Usually I have to scan my finger a bunch of times to get the scanner to be real accurate, but nah, this new fingerprint scanner is on point. The wireless charging is fast, and the reverse charging feature, I don't really use that as much, but I've used it a couple times and it works really good. So it's just a good feature to have on board. How thin the device is when it's unfolded, it's not the thinnest device on the market, but all the features that are packed in makes it pretty amazing how thin it is. The 6.2 inch cover screen and the 7.6 inch inner screen are amazing and vibrant. And the 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate on the inner screen is unmatched. Well, except for other Samsung phones. The camera system may not be the Note 20 Ultra's camera system, but it's damn near amazing. Some of the shots I was taking were coming out so good and made me feel like a pro. I was like, okay. The ability to multitask, this thing is a multitasking beast. Now, I don't use the 3 apps on the inner screen at a time or the floating windows, but the 2 apps I use side by side or on top of each other is so helpful and just gasses up my productivity. The ability to link the phone to your PC is pretty amazing and such a time saver. I no longer have to check my phone all the time. If I'm working, I can just, I get a little pop-up notification on the PC and, I rely on those. I don't have to grab my phone and check it 27,000 times. I can just look over there and say, oh, it's a notification, brush it to the side. I didn't need it. Okay, now comes the time when I have to tell you things that I didn't like about the device. The narrow cover screen. I understand it's bigger than the OG Fold, but come on. I need a regular phone aspect ratio and don't care if the phone moves out of the one-handed use scenario. The phone is slippery. Now, the Mystic Bronze has a matte back, so it's not as slippery as maybe the Mystic Black, which is all glossy, but even mine, I'd put it in my pants and sometimes it would try to slide out. Now, I've had iPhones and other Android phones, and I put them in my phone, big, small, whatever kind of phones. But it's just weird that, you put it in, and this one is always trying to fall out of my pocket. At launch, there was not a lot of cases out. There's maybe one on Samsung's site that kept selling out. And of course, I just bought a $2,000 device. I need some cases of protection for it. There's no S Pen. Now, I mean, I know that this is a new technology, new screens. They're just working now, this iteration with a thin glass that folds. But I'm just saying, I mean, I would have liked that functionality in there. I'm sure we all would have. You know, I mean, the device is perfect for note-taking, just, you know, jotting down things, drawing. I mean, it's just a perfect form factor, and I would have loved it. This phone can get a little heavy at times and start to make your wrist hurt. Again, I'm on this phone all day, so this may be just me. Well, nah, this phone is heavy, and if you don't hold it all day, you can still say it's heavy, and it still might make your wrist hurt. The pre-installed screen protectors are just fingerprint magnets, and they collect grime and oils which look disgusting and make me have to wipe the phone screen with a microfiber cloth all the time. I know they are there to protect, but I mean, it's kind of annoying. You can remove the screen protectors as many have, just check YouTube, but Samsung says if you want to remove it, please bring it to them and they will remove it for you. There's no 45-watt charger in the box. Now, again, I keep rolling on to the price. Now, I know to get a device like this that folds and stuff, it's going to be expensive. That's a technology that's not widely available, and, you know, it takes a lot to do. But I'm a 45-watt charger. I mean, you couldn't have threw that in there so I could, you know, you're boasting on the marketing and everything that this thing has super fast charging, but I have to buy another accessory to do that. It's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. There's no water resistant rating, and again, I know why they're doing it. You know, none of the foldables actually have that. But I mean, what Motorola is doing, they put this coating on all the components inside and outside and everything, so it makes it like a little water resistant. No IP rating, but at least they're doing something, like a little nano coating. And, you know, I can see that. I like that. I just wish Samsung would do something like that too. I don't want to be outside and like rain starts and I get a drip on there and then I lose my mind. You have no bumper case or any kind of case in the box. That's kind of irritating. I mean, the first one had one, and it was a little plastic rinky-dink kind of thing. So, I mean, you could have put that in the box. There's no expandable storage. This thing is awesome for consuming media. It's just one of the things it is good for. And I'm consuming a lot of media. I'm taking a lot of pictures. You don't give me expandable storage. I know there's cloud storage. I know all the, you know, arguments, but still, I wanted expandable storage so I can put my pictures on there. I can do different things. I can transfer files. I mean, it's supposed to be a business like workhorse, you know, business, personal, whatever. It's supposed to be a workhorse. So I may want to be bringing my documents over. I may not want all my stuff on the cloud, you know. I mean, me personally, you know, I have my stuff all on the cloud. But I mean, I'm just talking for everyone. I'm like, a lot of people don't. That's why they want the expandable storage. The camera system, don't get me wrong, I love the camera system, but for the price, we should have got that nice little system that was found in the Note 20 Ultra. I'm just saying. And of course, the price. Now, as I stated before, I believe the camera system should have been the same system as the Note 20 Ultra, and we should have had expandable storage and at least a bumper case in the box for that price. I think next year Samsung needs to look at this and really make some changes. Question of the day. Is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G your next device? Leave me your answer in the comments below. So this is a hard one for me. It's always hard to recommend someone go out and buy a $2,000 smartphone, which is kind of fragile. You know, but I mean, if you have the money for this, this is a definite get. I mean, I love this thing, and many other people have. I haven't hardly heard a lot of bad reviews about it, but you know, it's a good phone, really good tablet. So for me, again, it's a definite get. Now, for everyone else, this is a little extravagant. I mean, you know, it's the king of phones, and it checks all the boxes that need to be checked and everything. But the average consumer doesn't really need all of this. You know, this is for the tech enthusiasts, just people who want the newest thing that just came out, the bleeding edge and stuff. You know, so it's not just for like a regular person, like the average Joe. So I would tell them you're definitely good with a lower end phone, and not even like lower end. I mean, even the 20 series, you know, the S20 series, that's still good, or the iPhones. You know, I say this one is still $2,000. So, I mean, I don't just want to harp on the price, but for, like I said, the average person, they can get a phone and a tablet and some more stuff for $2,000. So a lot of them are looking at it like that. Like, it's a really good device. I would love to use it. Maybe go to Best Buy and play with it. But for me, I'm going to stay with the more conservative devices, the little slabs, and just have a tablet and slab, and I'm going to have a link in the description below so you can go ahead and pick up the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G for yourself and experience the best phone out right now. That was the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 5G. If you found value in this video, if you could drop a like on this video, click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content I release. Also, follow me on social media so you can get all the behind the scenes stuff and just a little something extra. As always, this is Jason, and I'll catch you in the next one.